6 o'clock in the morning, he starts out on another daily run. It might just be a 10-miler down those country winding roads. As the sweat begins to break, the morning traffic is on its way to town. They recognize his shadow slipping through the misty morning rain. And here's to you, oh Donny McDade, you've put our name on the map in most of the places that you've been. From Cork to New York, Boston, Montreal and Munich too. Thought that world cross-country run was the one that made you our number one. In his school days, years gone by, Danny gave running his first try when only 10. Little did he think back then he'd be known in athletics as a legend. When 1965 it came, the marathon was his mighty aim to master. From his home in Glenswilly, he was on his way to stardom. And here's to you, oh Danny McDade, you've put our name on the map in most of the places that you've been. From Cork to New York, Boston, Montreal and Munich too. Thought that world cross-country run was the one that made you our number one.
Welcome to you again, officially to LIFFORD. Thanks very much. Congratulations, fantastic walk. I hope you have a successful run into Letterkenny.
And plenty of money.
And plenty of money, I'm sure plenty of money well done. Danny, you're not thinking about going by horseback or
The first time we saw it there. Or Danny, will we tell you the one we heard Colin told us last night? It would be rather silly. Yeah. The horses were breakdowns. We had one with a sure Friday. That was it. A whole 9 games. No. Yeah.
Second that.
What is that? Really fat looking or?
Free post from me now, isn't it?
Aye.
Free post, yeah.
Free postage now for Hertz from now on. Gilligan, right? Behind him now, I know before he was left behind. Bad. One of the all-time greats of inspection of Irish athletes. He captained the Irish team for a silver medal delivering four cross-country championships. And now, here in Letterkenny, here supporting students of medals himself, winning his fourth national marathon title. Champion of Ireland, Danny McDade. Charlie.
Danny boy, to the ranks.
Please support Danny's efforts by donating. Support Danny's efforts by donating generously to these worthy causes.
Come on, Danny boy.
to where you belong.
Like, run up on the house, right? That's all.
Back to the ground.
Hello.
Back to your home.
And particularly the Murlog band. I'd like a round of applause for the Murlog band who played so well on such a fine sunny day. And thanks very much again for the support you give Danny. Thank you.
Back to the ground. Back to your home. I want that.
Community radio and the format.
Yeah.
Once again, we'd like to thank the people of Lifford and Siobhan for giving us fantastic support. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
They're just people.
Come home.
Thank the people of Lifford for giving us fantastic support. Thank you very much once again, and bye-bye.
They had no option.
Yes, Peggy.
How you doing, mate? How you
You
doing?
can tell me take a photo. Take a photograph of the sister here.
Aye.
And the yellow stripe down here.
Yeah, but I suppose some village.
Come home, Danny boy.
To the land.
Where you
This is Donegal Community Radio and the Four Lads calling on you to welcome Danny McDaid back home after his charity run from Dublin to Letterkenny in aid of the St Vincent de Paul Society and the Irish Kidney Association. Please support Danny's efforts by donating generously to these worthy causes.
come home around the aisle door. Come home, Danny boy.
To the land. This is Donegal Community Radio and the Four Lads calling on you to welcome Danny McDaid back home after his charity run from Dublin to Letterkenny in aid of the St Vincent Society and the Irish Kidney Association. Please support Danny's efforts by donating generously to these worthy causes.
Come home, Danny boy. To where you belong. You don't Well, postman Danny McDaid, one of the all-time greats and most respected of Irish athletes. He captained the Irish team to a silver medal at the Limerick World Cross Country Championships, and now, here in Letterkenny at the age of 42, the man with the cap, winning his fourth national marathon title, champion of Ireland, Danny McDaid.
Oh, Packy, for finish, I want to see it. Keep going, Danny.
Calling on you to welcome Danny McDaid back home after his charity run from Dublin to Letterkenny in aid of the St Vincent de Paul Society and the Irish Kidney Association. Please support Danny's efforts by donating generously to these worthy causes.
Come home, Danny boy.
If someday for your money anywhere.
Jimmy Hart was getting very tight after his last club there. I was watching as the perspiration started to go down the back of the side.
I can play back for you. Stephen.
What did you do with the well fella?
Stephen.
Hey,
Have they any drinks or anything on
The Irish team to a silver medal at the Limerick World Cross Country Championships, and now here in Letterkenny at the age of 42, the man with the cap winning his fourth national marathon title, champion of Ireland, Danny McDaid.
Six o'clock in the morning, he starts out on another daily run. It might just be a 10-miler down those country winding roads. As the sweat begins to break, the morning traffic is on its way to town. They recognize his shadow slipping through the misty morning rain. And here's to you, oh Danny McDaid. You've put our name on the map in most of the places that you've been. From Cork to New York, Boston, Montreal, and Munich too. But that road cross country run was the one that made you our number one. In his school days, years gone by, Danny gave running his first ride when only 10. Little did he think back then he'd be known in athletics as a legend. When 1965 it came, the marathon was his mighty aim to master. From his home in Glensoley, he was on his way to stardom. And here's to you, oh Danny McDaid. You put our name on the map in most of the places that you've been. From Cork to New York, Boston, Montreal, and Munich too. But that world cross country run was the one that made you our number one. Many marathons he's run and won, that magic man was on and on forever. Athletic clubs still refer to him as the man from Donegal with the cap. But if that cap could speak of the honors it did reap, there would be many. We're proud of our postman, Donegal Person of the Year, 87.
Hey, on, no.
Oh, he's good off for.
He's not pretty ready.
There's a tip for you now for the horse. Lanner, eh?
No, of course we'll take. We're in the course today. You know, hey, you should take up the water.
You got your pension yesterday.
You're not in the drink, you don't care. That's bad.
4 miles now.
Yeah, there will be, yeah. I bet pay. You get it on. Hey?
Let's get back.
You come in our house. Well, I must start it.
Should you take no?
Ah, but I'm running too much.
So you heading on to the golf course there one evening?
To the golf
Were you going to train or were you going to play golf?
Danny boy, to the left, where you belong. The Paul Society and the Irish Kidney Association. Please support Danny's efforts by donating generously to these worthy causes. Come home, Danny boy, to where you belong. Back to Gontrana,
Run on 18 and a half hours.
back to the home, and walk down through the gun landing. Hurry. The Paul Society and the Irish Kidney Association.
The man out front, the Donegal postman, Danny McDaid, one of the all-time greats and most respected of Irish athletes. He captained the Irish team to a silver medal in the Limerick World Cross Country Championships. And now, here in Letterkenny at the age of 42, the man with the cap winning his fourth national marathon title, champion of Ireland, Danny McDaid.
6 o'clock in the morning, he starts out on another daily run. It might just be a 10-miler down those country winding roads. As the sweat begins to break, the morning traffic is on its way to town. They recognize the shadows slipping through the misty morning rain. And here's to you, oh Danny McDaid. You've put our name on the map in most of the places that you've been. From Cork to New York, Boston, Montreal, and nearly to. Thought that World Cross Country run was the one that made you our number one. In his school days, years gone by, Danny gave running his first ride when only 10. Little did he think back then he'd be known in athletics as a legend. When 1965 it came, the marathon was his mighty aim to master. From his home in Glensley, he was on his way to stardom. And here's to you, oh Danny McDaid. You put our name on the map in most of the places that you've been. From Cork to New York, Boston, Montreal, and Munich too. That World Cross Country run was the one that made you our number one. Many marathons he's run and won, but that magic man was on and on forever. Athletic clubs still refer to him as the man from Donegal with the cap. Oh, if that cap could speak of the honors it did reap, there would be many. We're proud of our postman, Donegal Person of the Year, 87. Might just be a 10-miler down those country winding roads. There the sweat begins to break, the morning traffic is on its way to town. They recognize his shadow slipping through the misty morning rain. And here's to you, oh Danny McDaid. You put a name on the map in most of the places that you've been. From Cork to New York, Boston, Montreal, and nearly to. Thought that World Cross Country run was the one that made you our number one. In his school days, years gone by, Danny gave running his first try when only 10. Little did he think back then he'd be known in athletics as a legend. When 1965 it came, the marathon was his mighty aim to master. From his home in Glensley, he was on his way to stardom. And here's to you, oh Donny McDade. You put a name on the map in most of the places that you've been. From Cork to New York, north to Montreal and Munich too. Of that world cross-country run was the one that made you our number one. Many marathons he's run and run, but that magic man was on and on forever. Athletic blood still referred to him as the man from Donegal with the cap. But if that cap could speak of the honors it did reap, there would be many. We're proud of our postman, Donegal Person of the Year, 87.
I don't know which way you're going, I just run and watch where you're going. That's how it is. They don't want to have it.
And out front, the Donegal postman, Danny McDade, one of the all-time greats and most respected of Irish athletes. He captained the Irish team to a silver medal at the Limerick World Cross Country Championships. And now, here in Letterkenny at the age of 42, the man of the camp, winning his fourth national marathon title, champion of Ireland, Danny McDade.
Sorry, Jerry.
6 o'clock in the morning, starts out on
Stood up well.
a daily run. It might just be a 10-miler down your country winding roads. There's a swiftly dance to grace. The morning traffic is on its way to town. Clear red bells, the shadows slipping through. Rusty morning break.
You are Danny.
And here's to you,
Well, you're welcome.
oh Danny. On the map, you know it's all the way.
Danny, can we get the tea? Can we get the tea now? Okay.
What's your name? You are number one.
Oh, thanks, Danny.
And it's good as years gone by. Down here right is first prize. When only 10 little ditty things back then be known in Atlantic as a legend. When 1965 became the Marvin War, we're proud of our I'm having my dreams about black things in the middle of the afternoon. About black things in the middle of the afternoon. Every night I make a living, my mind's on loving you. I'm having daydreams about black things in the middle of the afternoon. And every night you make my daydream. I'm having daydreams about night things in the middle of the afternoon. Every night I make a living, my mind's on loving you. I'm having daydreams about night things in the middle of the afternoon. Every night you make my daydreams come true. And every night you make my daydreams come true.
Really?
This is Anita.
Oh, it's nice. Okay.
And now, here in Letterkenny at the age of 42, the man with the cap winning his fourth national marathon title, champion of Ireland, Danny McDade.
Okay. Hey,
Change over.
where's the boss? Where's the camera? Where's the boss?
What's her doing?
Right, right.
With the glass started.
Do that. With the bucket. Got it down though.
Not bad.
Well, let's go for those.
Aye. Right.
Hey, come here, go. Get behind it. Jump. Right. Where's Danny? Right, on there. Where's Danny? Go ahead.
Look at me, guys. I don't look at you. Look at me. Same boy.
Surely not that to go on.
That must be. I mean, back to someone else on as well. I mean, back to some match on as well.
Yeah.
Never Oh, yeah.
Aye, that's right. Right.
Right, woman. Bye, John. Look around.
This committee, this sponsors, and all the various representatives coming back from Letterkenny. Congratulations, Danny, to the Irish Kidney Association, the St. Vincent de Paul, the representatives from the committee, headed by the chairman, Mr. Sam Lacken, Brendan McLeod, and Mr. Frank Ryan, the main sponsor from the DOHERTY. Put your hands together, please, for the sponsorship. Jerry Grimes. All the way from Dublin, Jerry Grimes. Well done, Danny. You're welcome back. Put your hands together. Hooray! Right, everybody, let's get dancing and swinging for Danny. All the kids, let's go. Okay, Magella and Mary Murray, let's see you dance with Danny McDade. Come on, move down along the line, girls. Don't be shy. All the girls from the Kidney unit, lead the dance with Danny. Come on.
I used to think that Atkins hadn't been invented, but that was in the bad old days.
Come on, Mary Magella, let's see you dance. You did better in the rugby club the last time. Right, Danny, 7 beautiful nurses for you from the Kidney unit. Right, let's go.
Congratulations and celebrations when I tell everyone that you're in love with me. Congratulations and jubilations. I want the world to know how happy I can be.
Right, girls, I sent you over to dance, not to kiss the man. Get the dancing going. Come on, before Danny comes up here.
I was born myself to think you loved me. It's you that you said you love me. That round about me, you wanted to stay. Congratulations and celebrations when I tell everyone that you're in love.
Okay, well, last Bill Mulligan and a representative from the St. Vincent de Paul to lead Danny up here to the stage on his arrival back home. All 11 please from St. Vincent de Paul and Bill Mulligan, would you please lead Danny to the stage on his arrival home? Both charities that will benefit from his run. Anne Allen and Phil Mulligan, take Danny to the stand, please.
I want the world to know how happy I can be. I want the world to know how happy I can be. Congratulations and celebrations when I tell everyone that you're in love with me. Congratulations and jubilations. I want the world to know how happy I can be.
Come along, Danny. Letterkenny, come along, you're welcome back. Welcome.
Congratulations, congratulations. I want your love to know I'm happy as can be. I want your love to know I'm happy as can be.
Round of the lap. Mr. Dick Watch, working hard all week. Well done, Dick. Welcome, Father. And the representatives from the County Council.
Congratulations, celebrations, where I've come
Well, Paddy.
Congratulations, congratulations. I want the world to know I'm happy as can be.
Here's from Abigail. Mary Gallagher, make her way to the stand, please.
Congratulations.
Mrs. Morgan, can you make your way to the platform? Mrs. Morgan.
Yes, can be. I'm happy as can be.
James Gibbons from Sub 4, can you make your way to the platform, please?
You would be happy every time. I used to think that happiness would be mental, but that was in the bad old days. Before I had celebrations, congratulations and celebrations. Tell everyone that you're in there with me.
Some cooperation here this afternoon. We would like that the traffic could flow freely through Letterkenny while the proceedings are going.
Eddie, the chairman and vice chairman of one council. Nobody has to say that. We don't need them, it's dealing with they have to say
Ladies and gentlemen, I call upon the Letterkenny Emerald Band to call the proceedings to an official opening here this afternoon.
Bang! Left, turn!
my Lord Bishop, Reverend Fathers, Reverend Sisters, Reverend Sirs, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to welcome you here this afternoon on behalf of Donegal Community Radio. I will call upon Bishop HEGARTY to speak here this afternoon.
Mr. Chairman, Danny, and fellow guests, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're here first of all to welcome Danny McDaid back home after his tremendous run from Dublin for very worthy causes. And secondly, we are here to congratulate him very warmly and to compliment him on such a great achievement. It's a tremendous thing to undertake in the first place, and to have completed it so successfully in every possible way is a great tribute to him. It's also a tribute to everybody who was in any way associated with him, and particularly the backup staff he had who joined him every inch of the way from Dublin. I would like, on my own behalf and on behalf of all of you, to just put into words and say, welcome back home, Danny, and all of your entourage. Congratulations and very well done. I know that the charities which will benefit will have their own way of expressing their gratitude and their thanks to Danny, but I would like to say to him that I would like to thank him for the inspiration and for the example which he has given in attempting something difficult, something which would cost effort, something which would cost him a great deal of energy in order to help other people. And that is a very important side effect. For that, I thank him, and on behalf of all of us, a very warm and sincere congratulations to him. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bishop HEGARTY. I call upon the representative from the Urban District Council in Letterkenny, Mr. Lawrence Blake, to speak.
I think there's enough place talking on this platform without adding another one to it. But I would like to formally make apologies for the chairman and vice chairman of both the Urban Council and the County Council, who are both away on official council business this weekend. The other thing is that I would like to congratulate Danny on a massive achievement. I'm involved with a voluntary organisation myself, and my only regret is that we didn't capture him to do this for us. And saying that, I would like to wish the other two charities the best, and I'm sure it was a massive financial success. I would also like to pay tribute to both sponsors that I know of, DCR and the Four Lanterns. It's a magnificent achievement for this town that such a massive task was undertaken. And I know from speaking to various people involved that particularly without Frank Grimes and the Four Lanterns, and I believe his family as well, this would never have happened. And I would like just to say my own personal thanks to both sponsors involved. The final thing that I would like to say is in my position, I know how important my family is and the support of my family is. And you're away at a lot of functions and one thing and another. And I know in Danny's case as well that his wife and family have offered him great support throughout his career, and particularly over the last 10 days. And it's often gone unsaid, the support that's got from family. And I would just like to congratulate Danny's wife and family as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Lawrence. And I now call upon the chief sponsor from the Four Lanterns, Mr. Frank Grimes.
My Lord Bishop, Reverend Fathers, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Four Lanterns, I want to sincerely thank the organising committee. A sincere thanks is due to Jim Blacken, Sally Blake, Colin McManus, Brendan DeLapp, Frank Kelly and Dick Walsh. They were fantastic. The amount of work that these people, and especially Jim, put into this effort had to be seen to be believed. As for Danny himself, 3 words. Danny, you're magic. I would also like to offer a very sincere thanks to our 5 roadies. That's Nuala, Joanne, Edel, Oran and Paddy. By now they're the best 5 beggars in Ireland. A special thanks to the 4 Lanterns and Gulliver staffs in Drogheda, Dundalk, Buncrana, Sligo and Letterkenny for all their help. Also a special thanks to the media, both national and local, our local newspapers in Donegal and especially DCR done fantastic work to publicise this event, and without that publicity we would not have raised a fraction of the amount of money we did raise. Thank you very much. And finally, a special word of thanks to all the 4 Lanterns customers and to everybody that contributed to make this such a success. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bryan. I now call upon the man himself to give her a rapturous welcome, please, here to Letterkenny, Mr. Danny McGee.
The Lord visit, Reverend Fathers, ladies and gentlemen, supporters and committee. There's not much that I can say. It's a long time since I contacted Jim Lacken about this run. I think it was about the 1st of December. And since then, this committee have met practically every week. I said when I started this fundraising that the only thing I expected to do was to do the running, and that's certainly all I had to do. The committee got together, and from the word go, it had to be a success. And without their efforts, I knew I couldn't make it a success. And it was only the people that got behind me, the media. I suppose the most fortunate stroke we ever got probably was getting the 4 Lanterns involved. They come forward with a substantial sum and sponsorship, but the sponsorship was not the only thing that made us a success. As the time went on, the work that was put into the 4 Lanterns that a lot of people didn't see, but only we saw. But that was what made our event such a success. The people all along the way, the goodwill, generosity and hospitality that were received all the way from Dublin right through Drogheda, Dundalk, Monaghan, Castleblaney, right through Offnacloy. It's something that I think the whole crew will never forget, the hospitality especially. And I think when we look back on it, and the people that worked on it, the young people especially, I was most impressed by their good humour all the time. The car that led me all the way, and Paddy Toy that drove the van. I'm sure Paddy must be the most bored driver in Ireland today. I think it was probably tougher on him to drive all the way at 7-minute miles, from all the way from Dublin to Letterkenny. I think it was probably easier for me. There was a few days that I was getting very unimportant in the show. I think the most important thing was that I started in Dublin and finished in Letterkenny. But as the week went on, I wasn't very important, so I started complaining towards the end of the week, and then I think I got a bit of attention again, because I thought at one stage that just maybe I wouldn't make it, you know, but I don't think there was ever any doubt that I would have got here should have been on my hands and knees. The pressure was really on me to get here, and I'm glad to be back in Letterkenny, and again I thank the four lanterns, I can't thank them enough for what they've done personally, and we didn't have to run after them to try to get things done. If we said that something was to be done, you could be sure that Frank Grimes had saw to it for the next thing to come back to you, and I thank them very much for that. The support that I've got from this town, I think it's been tremendous, and I don't think I need to be congratulated because, as I say, my part was a very small one, and the charities that are benefiting, I think, will be benefit from a fairly substantial sum by the time all the money is in. And on that note, I would ask people to get their sponsorship cards returned as soon as possible, so we can get a final figure on what has been collected along the route. There's not much more I can say. I'm glad to be back in Letterkenny. There was a little discomfort, a little pain, but when I thought along the way on all the people that were suffering in the Kidney Association and with other illnesses, then my suffering and discomfort was mild compared with theirs. So I never thought of my own discomfort or suffering along the way. I thought a lot about the people that I was helping, and I think that got me through. So I will hold you up any longer, and thank you very much now, and I hope there's a function on the golf club tonight, so I hope some more you will come out there and we'll have a good climax to your week. Thank you very much.
Well, congratulations, everyone that joined love with me. Congratulations and jubilations. I want the world to know.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Danny McDade, and I think it's a magnificent way to leave the office of Donegal Person of the Year by marking it with such a run and to benefit such charities as the Irish Kidney Association and the St Vincent de Paul. Would you put your hands together and give a big round of applause to Danny McDade?
Congratulations
from the bodies which will gain from the sponsorship of this magnificent run from Dublin to Letterkenny. I call upon Mrs. Anna Allen to say a few words on behalf of the St Vincent de Paul Association.
Thanks, Martin. Platform members, ladies and gentlemen, unlike Danny McDade, I was one of the few who sat at home and didn't do any work in this very important occasion. The work was all done by Jim Blackham, Colin McManus, Dick Walsh, Frank Kelly, and many others. So I feel a bit of a hypocrite being up here today. But because I am president of Donegal, the Society of St Vincent de Paul, I think that it's only fair that I would say a few words. First of all, I think Barney Doherty will have to take second place as regards being the man for the weather. I think Danny McDade has now taken over that role and been able to get good weather. So I hope that Danny will turn out next Easter and supply us with a week like we've had this week. First of all, I would like to congratulate Danny and to thank him very, very much. The Society will benefit to a great extent, and the money will be used very wisely and for the benefit of an awful lot of people. Jim Blackham will fill you in on the events from Dublin to Letterkenny. He was there, I wasn't. The other person I would like to comment on and to thank is a man that I always refer to as a tall, quiet-spoken man of Letterkenny. And that quiet-spoken man is Frank Grimes. Coming up the Port Road, I overheard someone say, "Isn't it great publicity for the Four Lanterns?" And rightly so, because I'm sure there's very few people know the amount of sponsorship that Frank Grimes and the Four Lanterns has given, not alone to Letterkenny, but to County Donegal. not alone to charities, but to all sporting facilities and other organisations that probably I don't know anything about. Frank Grimes didn't sponsor this one just for publicity, because as far as I know, the Four Lanterns doesn't need publicity. I also want to pay tribute to Frank's wife and the roadies, as they called them, 3 of which I think were members of his own family. That's not leaving out the other 2 roadies, because I don't think any 5 youngsters would have spent the beautiful week of good weather that we had running around begging money from Dublin to Letterkenny. I think they would have found some other way of entertaining themselves. So well done to the youngsters. And not to delay you any longer, I once again thank Colin, Dick, Frank, Jim Blacken, and last but not least, Sally Blake. Somebody said Sally's stuck on everything. Well, there's lots of everythings that wouldn't go very well if Sally wasn't stuck on them. I think Letterkenny can be proud of the way that they contribute to local charities. Last Sunday night week, 12 local charities got cheques to the value of £400 each from the No Name Club. When the money taken in from Danny's run is divided between the Irish Kidney Association and the St Vincent de Paul, it will be a lot more than that, and it will be well spent throughout the county. So all that's left for me to do is to say, Danny, well done. The next Donegal Person of the Year will have a lot to do to live up to what you have done on your way out. Thank you very much.
And I'd just like to remind you what Danny has done from Dublin to Letterkenny is equivalent to 6 marathons. I now call upon a representative from the kidney dialysis unit here at Letterkenny General Hospital, Sister Phil Mulligan.
Well, I'm at a disadvantage. I've been taken on the hop here, and I'm not very used to public speaking. All I want to say is to sincerely congratulate Danny on the tremendous work that he's done for the 2 charities. I would also like to thank him and all of the organising committee and the entourage. Well done.
It's very evident that Sister Mulligan doesn't know me too well, because I always take the nurses on the hop. I call upon now the chairman of this magnificent committee. They have been working very hard for months on end, and to take on a challenge like this and such an organising event, they have done it immensely well, and that committee has been headed by a fine chairman, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jim Blacken.
My Lord Bishop, Reverend Fathers, Reverend Sister, ladies and gentlemen, and guests. First of all, there's many things happened on the road from Dublin to Letterkenny, and with his lordship here behind, I'm afraid he cannot tell us. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the 4 Lanterns, not only for the sponsorship, but Frank and Barbara Grimes and their family, and Jerry and Mary in Dundalk couldn't have done enough. When people talk about sponsorship, they talk about money. I can assure you, what we got wasn't money. It was a hell of a lot more. They talk about a chairmanship of an organisation. Well, I can assure you that we looked, as we called him, to Daddy. Daddy kept us right on the road, and that Daddy is Frank Grimes. I hope Barbara doesn't mind. Frank Grimes kept us going. I've no doubt without Frank Grimes, this committee, and I know my colleagues would agree, would never have got as far as we got today. I would like to thank a number of people, and if you bear with me, I'll run through them fairly fast. That doesn't mean that we didn't appreciate their help. We had Sub 4 who provided the running gear for Danny. In Dublin, we had the Donegal Association. We were set off by our good friend Damon Doherty, the Garda Commissioner. We had the Garda Band, and I must pay tribute to the Garda right through the country, to Superintendent Ginty here for his help in Letterkenny before and during the period. I would like to thank Bertie Ahern, TD, Minister for Labour, who came to start us off as well. I'd also like to thank the Vincent de Paul conferences, and we had numerous conferences in the Dublin, Drogheda, Dundalk, Monaghan, Castleblayney, Omagh, Strabane, and here in Letterkenny. I would like to thank my colleagues in the Irish Kidney Association in Dublin, Cavan, Monaghan, Louth, and Letterkenny, or Donegal. I would also like to thank the chairman of Drogheda, Omagh and Strabane councils who came out to meet us and made presentations to us. There are a variety of clubs who have helped us during the period. I'd like to thank also Letterkenny Motors, HEGARTY's Garage and Auto Spares for providing equipment. Brendan O'Reilly of RTE for his tape. DCR, Bobby McDade, Ian Calhoun, Stephen McGlinchey for the coverage they've given us not only today but all through the period of advertising. Father McManus and Knock McCloy who provided accommodation and meals. The MURLOG band in Lifford who met us this morning and took it through the town. Today's band, the Letterkenny Emerald Band, the Letterkenny Accordion Band and St Patrick's Drumkeen. I'd like to thank Sean Doherty for the flute provided, and I can tell you it wasn't Danny who ate the flute during the period. It was Nuda. Abigail Flowers for the flowers today, the Letterkenny Athletic Club who came and shared a day with us. Liam McConnell Lowe from the post office and his friends. The Letterkenny Motor Club. Gallagher's Hotel for the use of the hotel for meetings. The RUC in Northern Ireland who've been very helpful to us. The Customs North and South. Foley's Restaurant in Dublin. And to the media, RTE, but especially to local media in Donegal, the local papers, the radio stations, and somebody else mentioned DCR again. The Rotary clubs around the country, Reynolds of RAPHOE for the application, the speakers, Barry Gallagher, who I believe is providing tea for not only the platform, but for everybody in the town. The youth clubs for the use of the hall. I'd also like to pay tribute to Willie McFadden from Inara, who happens to be a member of the Donegal Branch of Irish Kidney Association. Willie provided us with the use of his Jeep and caravan. His caravan all the way. Sean Curran of Donegal Printing Company for the printing, the Social Service Centre in Letterkenny, the Order of Malta Dundalk, the Red Cross in Letterkenny, Rim McFadden for the use of his vehicle, Tobin's for the use of their house today, the Father Freelands and Junan's College, the Convent for their staff. Now I'd like to thank or pay tribute to, as somebody said, the rodeos. Well, I can tell you something, they're far from young civil kids. I made it quite clear I'll tell their parents when I get back. I'd like to this opportunity, first of all, to them, to offer a small plaque in memory of what has happened on the road. And I'd like to, first of all, to Nuala Carr. Nuala Carr, who got a kiss from Danny behind you. To Joanne Henry. Joanne, who was always up to mischief. To Adele Grimes. To Oren Grimes, and I can tell you, we can tell some stories about Oren in this thing. There's a little bit of confusion. Oren getting used to saying it's for the Irish Kidney Association and Vincent de Paul, and one occasion said it's for the Irish Kidney Building Society. And the last of the roadies, the man who kept us on the road, Paddy Toy. There's another little girl who come up specially today to see someone in Letterkenny, somebody in our committee, but I prefer not to discuss it. That is Anita Mulligan, and I'd like to present her on behalf of the Ford ambulance staff at Dundalk a little plaque. Colin McMahon said Anita doesn't ever stop smiling. I would like to present a plaque to Jerry Grimes. In fact, two plaques, one on behalf of the staff of Ford Ambulance Drogheda and the other on behalf of the staff of Gulliver's Drogheda, who looked after us very well in our travel. I would like to thank my colleagues on the committee, and I can tell you, we are colleagues. We'll live together for 9 days without fighting our colleagues. They've put a hell of a lot of work to it, aided by Frank. And of course, finally, without the one man, we wouldn't have got the money. Danny was quite right. The day he left the GPO until he arrived at the Port Road, we weren't too worried. We told Danny that's his problem, get there, we wanted the money. But without Danny, we couldn't have done it. And with us on the road, not only was Danny, but was Kathleen, his wife, and the family. And I think they deserve a good round of applause. I sincerely hope I haven't left anyone out, but if I have, my apologies. My thanks to everyone who has provided us with money, and anyone else, and the business firms in town in general. The business firms in town who have given so generously, and in fact, if there's any other business out there that haven't given, we'll still take it. Finally, I'd like to thank Oatfield who provided us with jars, and I would now like to make a little presentation to Danny in memory of his trip with us, and hope that he never forgets it, because we won't. I would like to kindly ask everyone, if they have nothing else to do tonight, that to come out to the golf club and give our last tribute. I'm now going to call on Sally Blake to do a little bit of a presentation. Flowers number 1 to Kathleen McDaid, and these flowers have been given to us by Abigail Flowers. So the first presentation is to Danny's wife, Kathleen. And Orla Callahan is presenting the other bouquet of flowers to the person who's making everyone tea, Mary Gallagher. And Mary is going to sing for you.
Thank you, Mr. Blacken. Ladies and gentlemen, as you know, there's a lot of hard work going on here, and there's a lady who has a banquet prepared for the people who came from Dublin and the people on the platform here. There's a lot of people up here insisting that that lady says a few words, so I call upon one of Letterkenny's own personalities, Mary Gallagher. Mary, this is your night. Come ahead. Okay, he's all on, Mary. Okay, Mary, this is your night. Are you coming? No. Okay, she's very shy. That's what the hard work's all about. Would you give her a big round of applause for preparing for it? And there's a cavalcade of cars tonight assembling at down here on the new road, Oliver Plunkett, at 9:15 to go to the golf club with Danny. Ladies and gentlemen, that brings the proceedings to an end. I would like to thank you for your attention here this afternoon and for being a wonderful audience, and thanking everyone for their help and cooperation, and enjoy the fine weather. Good evening and thank you.
Bye. Congratulations and celebrations. Congratulations.
Spurs along the way. Really, I mean, sponsorship means a lot more to me now than just a check in your hand. I don't think one could put a price on what Frank Grimes, Four Lanterns organisations and their staffs have done for us.
Yeah, I think, you know, Danny's achievement is a marvellous one, but people have to remember the amount of organisation has to go into an event like this from town to town, from day to day as well, Jim.
Well, I think in hindsight now, and I think Frank made reference to this many times, we're probably the most professional beggars going now in the country. There was planning, but I think any planning is only as good as the people who make it. And the continued help we had from our committee on the way, we just took each day, it worked in well, we learned very fast. I think if we made any mistakes at all, there were very little, they were at the start, and I would suggest that's what made it a success for us.
Yeah. Danny, weather-wise, I suppose at an event like this, it has to be important that good weather comes along, and obviously in the last few days particularly, you were blessed with very good weather.
Yeah, it was great all the way, well, sunshine all the way. If we planned it, it couldn't have been better. Not for me alone, I could have put on a wetsuit and went out and run the hour and a half morning and evening. But for the helpers, the collectors, the kids that come along with us, on and out to caravans and cars and that, and the people along the route as well. It was most important that the weather was fine. But it's some people say, why not wait until July or August when you get the hot weather? But by God, as things turned out, I think we couldn't have done it better. We had a little rain on Good Friday when we left Dublin, and that's the last time we saw rain.
Yeah, Danny, talking about it from an athlete's point of view, I know I spoke to you before and I spoke to you at the championships and even more. The virus was a big setback for you. Now after doing this race, well, what would be the plans for you personally now for the rest of '88? A long rest, I suppose, is the first thing.
I don't have any plans really. I take every day as it comes. And it'd be a pity to waste I'm very fit. I've ran 70 to 90 miles a week every week since the 1st of December, and it'd be a pity to waste that now. I feel I can have a couple of weeks a break, and I can come back, and I probably will start racing again, because it'd be a shame to waste it, the fitness that I've achieved now. I'm in terrific shape after running 160 miles.
Have the events of the last 8 or 9 days really whetted your appetite to get out there again, Danny, in a competitive nature?
Well, I probably won't get back, but like I say, it's something that I planned this. I planned this from the 1st of December, and it was a big step. But the main thing from the very start was to make money. I wanted to use my name, not for publicity for myself. I wanted to use my name to get the publicity for the associations, and it was nice that it has turned out the way it has turned out. And
it could be said, Danny, you could have gone an easier way about it, using your name rather than taking on a run like this, you know, from Dublin.
Well, I suppose that's true, yeah, but I think that it was different. It was something different, you know. That it was a bit of a gamble to take it on all on my own. Maybe if I you know, certainly a couple of weeks before the event started, if I had to do it again, I would have planned it differently. But as it turned out, it was okay. But it was a gamble, because I could have got flu, I could have got injured, anything, because when you're running 90 miles a week, anything can happen. And certainly 2 weeks before I did take off, I got a sore foot. And you know, thanks to the physiotherapist up in the hospital, they got me right for it. And it was quite worrying, because I didn't know how the foot would stand up to 20 miles a day, every day. It was a bit of a gamble to take, but certainly it has paid off.
Yeah, Jim, it's paid off. We're all delighted about that. Have we to look at this as a really a one-off thing, you know, something that can never be as successful again, or maybe is it something that the societies and charity organisations should be looking at, possibly to get sports people involved in this type of event?
Yes, Charlie, I think this type of event was unique for us, and I think it is useful, and I've no doubt it'll happen again.
Yeah.
We often joked on the way that where do we go next week? Is it Galway to Letterkenny or Letterkenny to Cork? But I honestly believe, yes, it is a fantastic way. But I think without the planning that went into it, it wouldn't have been a success. And this is where the help of the Gardaí came in. That we were allowed to stop cars at roundabouts, traffic lights, and that's really where we got the funds.
Yeah.
So I think that, you know, it's a big venture, and I think that we went into it not really knowing what to expect, and it just worked out okay for us.
Yeah. Frank Grimes with me in the studio. We just called Frank over to the microphone to have a word with him. Frank, of course, the chief sponsor of the event, and all the way from Dublin. Frank, it couldn't have turned out any better really than it has.
It couldn't have been better. It's been brilliant. That's the only word I can use for it.
Yeah, yeah. And being with the event, Frank, as Danny has said and as Jim has said, were you amazed at the response that the general public gave the event?
I was amazed. You know, I didn't really think that so many people would have heard about it. And when the GPO with the Garda band leading us up right through to Letterkenny, it's been fantastic. The number of people knew that we were coming through.
Yeah. Well, Frank, a long event like this, was there any little problems? Was there any mornings you thought things were going to start to go wrong here? Anything turned up, or did it all run very smoothly? Don't worry about that. It's just gentleman here about to wreck the studio, but we're not worried about it.
That is done about the only accident I've seen. When that Dublin.
All the way from Dublin, had to come to DCR offices to nearly be killed here, but anyway.
No, it all ran very, very smoothly. You know, just one thing, I learned a lot about athletes since I left Dublin. I didn't realise that, you know, I had a feeling that you just wound up the guy and set him in the right direction and told him to go somewhere, and he went so far and he stopped, and you didn't need to do anything. But now I know a lot different. The human element is very important.
That's the point I was going to make to you. Did it amaze you that day after day Danny was able to get up again and start away, go for another hour and a half non-stop running or more even?
It really did amaze me, because on a few occasions where I met him along the road and was passing him leaves of orange, and I ran 10 or 12 yards along with him just to pass him. I wasn't any good for the next half an hour afterwards. This guy kept going on for another 10 miles.
Yeah, well, I'm sure, Frank, the Forelanders must be delighted to be able to associate it with an event like this, primarily because of the organisations and associations involved, but secondly because it's been such a great success.
Definitely, because the success has been fantastic. You know, it would have been a pity to have put in so much effort and it not to have been successful.
Yeah.
I'd say it has been really far more successful than we were dreamt up at the beginning.
Certainly. Thanks for that, Frank. Finally, Danny, moving across to yourself. You said you're going to have a short rest now, but I'll press you on it. Can we look forward to Danny McDaid's name appearing possibly in some competitive races later on in the year, or is it maybe too early to think about it, Danny?
I'll be back racing. Yes.
Well, I'm sure everybody's delighted at that. Danny, once again, many congratulations on a great achievement. I think there's few athletes in the country who possibly could have achieved it, and a credit to, I'm sure, everyone in Donegal, and in particular thanks, I'm sure, from the Irish Kidney Association and St Vincent de Paul, and from everyone here in DCR. Well done again. Thanks very much. Danny McDaid.
The man out front, the Donegal postman, Danny McDaid, one of the all-time greats and most respected of Irish athletes. He captained the Irish team to a silver medal in the Limerick World Cross Country Championships, and now, here in Letterkenny at the age of 42, the man with the cap winning his 4th national marathon title, champion of Ireland, Danny McDaid.
Six o'clock in the morning, he starts out on another daily run. It might just be a 10-miler down those country winding roads. As the sweat begins to break, the morning traffic is on its way to town. They recognize his shadow slipping through the misty morning rain. And here's to you, oh Danny McDaid, you've put our name on the map in most of the places that you've been. From Cork to New York, Boston, Montreal and Munich too. Thought that World Cross Country run was the one that made you our number one. In his school days, years gone by, Danny gave running his first try when only 10. Little did he think back then he'd be known in athletics as a legend. When 1965 it came, the marathon was his mighty aim to master. From his home in Glensley, he was on his way to stardom. And here's to you, oh Danny McDade. You've put our name on the map in most of the places that you've been. From Cork to New York, Boston, Montreal and Munich too. Of that world cross-country run was the one that made you our number one. Many marathons he's run and won, but that magic man was on and on forever.